Awesome. Well, a quick little note of housekeeping before we do dive into our keynote session. So I know that there's been some issues, some troubleshooting with your one-to-one meetings. We hear you loud and clear, and we actually posted something to our event feed that's going to give you some solutions to some of the issues that you've been facing. So please check out that event feed. We update it throughout the day, especially based on feedback that you guys are sharing with us. So give that a check, and hopefully that solves your issues. Okay. All right. But with that, hello everybody, and welcome to our first keynote session of the day, led by the Regional Director of the Seychelles Tourism Board, David Germain. David is going to be enlightening us on how Seychelles became a bit of a case study in successful management of the COVID-19 pandemic and how it continues to be a safe and welcoming destination for travelers all over the world today. Now, hopefully you know by now that my name is Christina and I'm going to be moderating today's session. So if you need to say anything or you want to have a question for David to answer at the end of his presentation, please catch me there. And without further ado, I'm going to leave it to David.
Thank you, Christina, and good day, everybody. It is a pleasure to be with you today to talk to you about the Seychelles. My name is David Germain. I am the Seychelles Tourism Board Regional Director for Africa and the Americas. So I'm going to go through PowerPoint presentation with you to, first of all, show you Seychelles as a destination for travelers wanting to go on holiday to the Seychelles, and also explain to you all the products and services that are available in Seychelles for visitors to Seychelles, and talk to you as well about the COVID-19 situation in Seychelles, how Seychelles handle the situation and continue to handle the situation as the destination remains open, receiving visitors to the archipelago. So I will share my screen with you now. I first start by showing you where the Seychelles is. Seychelles is a group of 115 islands. It's located off the east coast of Africa. To the left of the screen is the African continent, and you can see Kenya and Tanzania. This is East Africa, and this is the closest African mainland to the Seychelles. And Seychelles is right there in the middle of the Western Indian Ocean, where the national flag of Seychelles is. And in this position, it puts us northeast of Madagascar. And as I said earlier, it's a group of 115 islands, and it's two groups of islands. It's a group of granitic islands and a group of coral island. And at the same time, even though we are in close proximity to Africa, Seychelles is a republic. We are our own government, our own legitimate country, and we obtained our independence from Britain in 1976 with a population of 95,000 people. We are very, very fortunate to be where we are in the Indian Ocean, because Seychelles is completely outside the cyclone belt. Every February and March, there is a cyclone season in this part of the world, around Madagascar, down to Mauritius and Réunion Island. Sometimes it affects Mozambique as well. But we are further up north, and we've never had any cyclone in the Seychelles. So we're very fortunate to be where we are located. And this is the map of the exclusive economic zone of the Seychelles. This shows the whole archipelago, and in the box further up, it shows us in proximity to Africa. Our exclusive economic zone is 1.5 million square kilometers of water. It's a huge exclusive zone. And talking about the two groups of islands, on the top right, the bigger islands, the top right of the screen, these are the granitic islands of Seychelles and the principal islands where most people live, most of the action takes place, where the airport is, for example, and all the other islands scattered in the ocean, these are coral islands. And this whole group of islands make up the archipelago of the Seychelles. Now, to start the presentation, I go straight to the COVID-19 situation. It is what most travelers would like to know. We start with the condition of entry into Seychelles for visitors. The Seychelles Islands has been declared a COVID-19 safe destination by the Seychelles Department of Health, and we open the archipelago to tourism since the 25th of March. And we have all health and safety procedures in place to ensure that travelers to the archipelago have a good holiday experience. And to date, Seychelles has received more than 22,000 visitors to the islands from all over the world. This is from March to now June. Visitors mainly coming from our main source markets, on and off, depending on the situation in their countries. And our main source market are the European markets, France, Britain, Italy, UK, and the situation is very, very fluid. It continues to be very fluid. So when they are open, we receive visitors. When they close, we stop. Otherwise, we've had visitors from the Middle East, and Middle East meaning from Dubai, from Saudi Arabia, Oman, from Abu Dhabi, Israel, and we've had visitors from Eastern Europe as well, as far as Romania, and the region as well, whenever the condition allows. The travel procedures to Seychelles. This is at this time for any visitors who would like to travel to Seychelles. Seychelles is open for practically the whole world at the moment. All visitors, including infants and children, regardless of vaccination status, you need to have a negative COVID-19 PCR test certificate. Sample of the test has to be taken within 72 hours before departure, before leaving your country of origin. And visitors must have valid travel health insurance that covers minimum COVID-19 testing, isolation, quarantine. In other words, your expenses. And then there is an online health travel authorization, which is required prior to boarding. So this is an app. You go there and you provide your COVID-19 certificate and your flight tickets, the details of your accommodation. It goes through and it's approved within seconds. It costs €10 per person. Upon check-in for your flight, all visitors coming to Seychelles, you need to show this health travel certificate that you have obtained, and then you'll be issued with your ticket. For the moment, visitors who have been to South Africa, Brazil, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Pakistan within 14 days preceding arrival to Seychelles will not be authorized entry. These are the countries where visitors are not allowed to travel to Seychelles, whereas if you have stayed at least 14 days in another country and have a negative PCR test, you will be allowed to enter Seychelles. It's only in those countries listed that you will not be allowed to enter Seychelles. Upon arrival in Seychelles, no quarantine is required for visitors entering Seychelles, for all visitors. And you have complete freedom of movement for all visitors in Seychelles. However, you are strongly encouraged to be fully immunized before travel, if it's possible, to have your vaccine, but you can also come without vaccine. And as I mentioned, you are free movement throughout the entire holiday, but you must adhere to public health measures, which is mainly when you go to public places. If you're going to the market where it's very busy, there are locals and lots of fruits, vegetables, like normal, most markets. Lots of visitors take the public bus in Seychelles to move about, to meet the people. And there you need to wear a mask. That's it, nothing more than that. Otherwise, visitors can go around on tours, on excursions. You can rent cars if you want, to the beach, of course. We have nature trails in Seychelles, which is very popular. The restaurants are open. Hotels, they have their own protocol, but it's not severe. Seychelles is mainly resorts. It's very, very open, and we expect visitors to have a very nice experience. And this involves moving about and practicing the protocols wherever is applicable. We have a travel advisory website, which is advisory.seychelles.travel. And this is periodically updated. So visitors can go there anytime. And there we update continuously all the information that you need to know before traveling to Seychelles. Why the Seychelles? As a destination, no visa is required to enter Seychelles for all nations of the world. We have a no visa policy for everyone. We have a beautiful weather, beautiful climate, 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit right through the year. No hurricane, no cyclone. We're a niche destination with beautiful beaches, lots of nice flora and fauna, excellent diving, fishing. People are extremely friendly. Tourism is our main industry. And the strong point about the Seychelles is that we are heavily involved in conservation. We practice sustainable tourism, and we have dedicated 50% of our land and sea mass to nature conservation, on land and at sea. There are no malaria and yellow fever in Seychelles, and the certificates are not required unless you are traveling from a country that is affected by yellow fever, then it is required. For example, from Brazil, you will require your certificate. This is a picture of some of the granitic islands of the Seychelles, how they look like. And we have 41 of these granitic islands and 74 coral islands scattered across the Indian Ocean. Some of them are inhabited, like this little one, Bird Island, with a little hotel resort. But there's a lot of them which are not inhabited, and there you have the giant big tortoise, birds living on this island. It's their home. The Seychelles was completely uninhabited 250 years ago. All these 115 islands were there, completely uninhabited, visited by Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama, 1502. Thereafter, the French came, Lazare-Picot, when they started looking for territories around the world, as did the Spanish, the Portuguese as well. And France took possession of Seychelles in 1756. The British came as well. Seychelles changed hands 17 times between the French and the British until the French stayed permanently in Seychelles, colonized the island for 40 years, were a French colony. British came again thereafter. They had an agreement, and we became a British colony for 200 years and obtained our independence in 1976. Today, it's a Republic of Seychelles. and a multi-party democracy with a population of 95,000 people, and very, very involved in nature conservation on land and at sea. And Seychelles is virtually a living museum of natural history and a sanctuary for some of the rarest species of flora and fauna in the world. This is what it's all about. Protection of the landmass and the ocean with very, very strict policy and laws in place. In Seychelles, it's not allowed, it's a crime to kill turtle, to kill dolphin. It's only imprisonment. You're not allowed, no spearfishing allowed. You're not allowed to pick up live shells on the beach. You can pick up dead shells. And you cannot cut trees if you are bored, or we have a lot of laws and policy for locals and for visitors to protect the flora and fauna, the ecosystem, for tourism, which is our main industry, but also for the next generation. And here we have a look at the islands, mainly the granitic islands. This is Mahé Island, and then Pralé, the second island of Seychelles, and La Digue. These are the three main islands of the Seychelles. And we start with Mahé, main island, beautiful island. It's 27 kilometers long by 8 kilometers wide. We have the international airport, the main port, and this is where most of the economic and industrial activities take place, and government offices and so on. Population of 60,000 people, little town of Victoria. And when the British left, they left this replica of the Big Ben for us. Little market in Victoria where everybody meets and the visitors go to visit as well. And Seychelles is a very serene destination. It is not a mass destination. It's a very niche destination. We receive only 350,000 visitors a year for 115 islands. There's a lot of space, and it's isolated beaches all over the place. 10, 12 people on a beach is considered a crowded beach in Seychelles. This is the kind of destination that it is. Crystal clear water, 25, 35 degrees centigrade, beautiful for snorkeling from the beach, and really, really nice surroundings. We're now moving to the accommodation. We have guest houses in Seychelles, villas, and small hotels, which we call the affordable Seychelles accommodation. And otherwise, then we have the 3- and 4-star properties, a lot of international brands as well, like the Hilton, DoubleTree, and a lot of resorts on the beach accommodation and up in the hills as well. And these are the 5-star properties. Four Seasons has properties in Seychelles. This is one of them. And Kempinski, Seychelles Resort. Hilton is one of the biggest hotel groups in the Seychelles with several properties. Anantara Maya is one of the top-end properties in Seychelles with butler service. Moving on to the Pralé Island, the second island of Seychelles, and transportation from Mahé, the main island, to Pralé, there are 3 options. There is a ferry service during the day. It's 1 hour every day, during the day only. Otherwise, Air Seychelles, our national airline, has domestic flights from the main island to Pralé. It's only 15 minutes. It's virtually up and down. Or you can take a helicopter as well, and helicopter is a charter. So Pralé is equally a beautiful island, very lush green vegetation, and lovely beaches as well, beautiful scenery, with one of the nicest hotels of Seychelles, a 5-star resort called the Lemuria Resort, with the only golf club in the Seychelles. Golf is not big in Seychelles. So Pralé Island and at Lemuria is the only place where you can play golf in Seychelles. You do not need to be staying at Lemuria to play golf. You can book coming from the outside and play. And the Raffles has a beautiful property on Praslin also, at a very exclusive place with beautiful beach. I must mention this time that in Seychelles, all beaches are public. It's in our constitution. Everybody can walk on any beaches anywhere in the Seychelles at any time, locals and visitors as well. This is La Digue, third principal island of Seychelles, 5 kilometers long by 3 kilometers wide. And La Digue does not have any five-star properties, only guest houses, little villas. It's a very special island, very natural, very laid back, with a population of 5,000 people. And you move about on bicycles or in ox carts, or you simply walk. That's how relaxed it is. And this is how visitors and locals move about. It's a beautiful island with these granite boulders, features which Seychelles is known for, nice crystal clear water. And these are some of the accommodation on La Digue, little A-frame villas. And this is a beautiful beach called Ansous d'Argent, which features in a lot of catalogs and filmings as well. It's a very popular beach. And transportation on those 3 islands, you can't rent cars on Praslin and on Mahé only, minimox, little jeeps, or you can also take taxis on Mahé and Praslin only, not on La Digue. You can ride bicycles as well on all the islands of Seychelles. And you can take public bus services also, which visitors do on Mahé, Praslin, and La Digue. They're available, and a very cheap way of going around the islands as well. Nature trails, a lot of visitors walk. Seychelles is a very safe destination. We are 95,000 people, very friendly people. Everybody knows one another in Seychelles. Should somebody do something at 9 o'clock in the morning, before the sunset, we would know who has done it. That's how easy it is. And these are the means of transportation, which I spoke about. And now moving on to another type of accommodation. In line with our conservation policy in Seychelles, there is a type of accommodation which is allowed on some islands, one resort only. It's called one island, one resort, which means on one particular island, there is only one hotel allowed to be built, and it's bungalows type of resorts. It's a very nice and popular concept of holiday, especially during this pandemic, which goes very, very well with the protocol and guidelines established in Seychelles, whereby you can go and be on an island. Very often there are couples which finds themselves being the only couple on the island, and they have the whole island for themselves during their stay or for a couple of days. It's a very Robinson Crusoe kind of holiday, where there are no lock on the doors, and you just wander around and do what you want when you want. And there's of course a little hotel where some people to cater for you and cook your food and everything, but otherwise you have the whole island for yourself. This is a Hilton hotel resort. Four Seasons has one of these resorts as well. In Seychelles, they have their own island, bungalow, and it's all associated with nature, on land and at sea. Frigate Island Resort, same concept, all 5-star butler service establishment. Six Senses also have their own island in the Seychelles. And North Island. This is the most popular of them all, because this is where Kate and William, the royal family, spend their holiday in Seychelles. They took North Island for 10 days with a group of friends and spent their honeymoon in Seychelles, a beautiful island, and with full service available on the island. Seychelles is very strong in fly fishing as well. This is Alphonse Island Resort, very popular fly fishing destination. You can also cruise the Seychelles. Take a plane, go to Mahé, and then book one of the holiday on one of the vessels, like the one on the left, the couple waiting for the local schooner to pick them up. It's a full service cruise, weekly cruise, where you sail away. Everything is catered for on board. Stop on each island every day, visit the unique attractions of the island and go back on board. Spend a beautiful time. Diving is included, snorkeling is included, your excursions and everything. Alternatively, we have also foreign companies that used to base medium-sized vessel in Seychelles. On top left of the slide is Crystal Esprit from Crystal Cruises. They were in the Seychelles in 2019, running a 3 months program in Seychelles based on the main island of Mahé. The visitors fly in and they cruise the island. It was completely sold out for the whole program, and they were going to come again until the pandemic started, where they have to leave, unfortunately. But the authorities just received a request from Crystal Cruises to come back in August or September this year, should the situation gets better. They would like to resume the program. But you can also sail around, rent your own yacht, stay sail yacht in Seychelles, and sail the islands by yourself with a group of friends. We have sailing companies like Sun Sails and Moorings and so on. It's a beautiful way of discovering the islands. People of Seychelles, very friendly people. We call ourselves the melting pot. Everybody speaks English and French. Where do we come from? We come from the days of slavery. The Indian Ocean islands of Seychelles were slave settlements during the time of slavery. And the slaves consisted of English, French, Portuguese, Indians, and Arabs. And after the abolition of slavery, then they stayed on the island. And this is us today. And we live happily together, predominantly Roman Catholic religion and Anglican, but we have other religion as well. We've one mosque on the island, but we respect all faith and live happily together. We cook a lot of delicious meals. Obviously, we receive visitors from all over the world. Lots of fish, being islands, but we cater for everyone. We cook halal, vegetarian, and you just need to let us know if you have any special diet requirements, and we'll make it available. Excellent diving, fishing, and nice hiking. Seychelles is very popular for wedding and honeymoon destination. A cultural tourism, very strong in Seychelles. Air access from all over the world. At the moment, it's Emirates, which is the dominant airline, but Qatar flies in as well. Obviously, depend on bookings. It's a very fluid situation, but we have air access. We connected from all over the world, from the Americas, Europe, and Asia, and the Middle East. And these are frequently asked questions about the Seychelles. When is the best time to visit Seychelles? It's a year-round destination, except for July and August, when the weather gets a little bit windy, rains a little bit, and the sea gets rough. It's important to know because given our position in the Indian Ocean, where we are located above Madagascar, further above us is the Maldives, further above the Maldives is India. And for those of you who's familiar with India, July and August is their monsoon season, rain and wind. So unfortunately, we get a bit of this adverse weather in the Indian Ocean, all of us, all the islands in the Indian Ocean. So July and August gets a bit windy, but it is our busiest time of the year because it's the scholar holidays in Europe. Lots of families and children come to Seychelles. It is not unpleasant, but it's good to know. Do I need a visa? No, I have touched on that. Shops and the opening hours, the Seychelles official opening hours is 8 to 4. And we accept all major currencies, euros, dollars, everything, and we have reputable banks on the island. Barclays Bank, ATM can draw money, travelers checks. We accept all major credit cards as well in Seychelles. What to pack when you go in Seychelles? You bring with you what you usually carry when you go to exotic island destination: walking shoes and lots of sunblocks. Seychelles is very hot. What to wear? Very easy if you are in 5-star, smart casual. Otherwise, when you go down to the 3-star or daily in going around for lunches around the island, shorts and t-shirts. No jacket, please, no tie. And it's fairly very easy. Seychelles is a very outdoor destination. It's about an experience. It's extremely safe. There are no wildlife in Seychelles. There's nothing to bite or attack visitors. There are no poisonous animals. There's no poisonous snakes. There are no wild animals to attack anyone. It's the tropics. We are 5 degrees south of the equator. You may come across some tropical spiders, but they're the friendliest spiders you'll ever come across. They're very friendly. They don't bite. So everything is safe. And Seychelles has won the lots of awards, lots of accolades. Travel and Leisure World's Best Award. We've won it for 4 consecutive years. Seychelles has been voted as the #1 island in Africa and the Middle East. And here you are, some beautiful beaches of Seychelles, what we make available for visitors to visit. And it's about an experience. During this time of COVID, we tell visitors to come to Seychelles. It's our home and your sanctuary. This is the message, and we're convinced that the destination is safe for visitors. We have not obtained a single situation since opening in March. We've handled 22,000 visitors without any incident in Seychelles. So this was what I had to show you about Seychelles. I hope that I've been able to properly explain the situation in Seychelles at the moment for travelers to Seychelles, and at the same time tell you everything that Seychelles is all about. Should you need anything else, my details is here, David Germain. This is my email address. We have a very nice website as well, seychelles.travel. Please feel free to contact me at any time, and I will gladly assist you. Thank you once again for being with, joining me. And should you have any questions, I will gladly answer them for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. That was amazing. We are all dreaming about Seychelles right now. It is truly a bucket list destination that needs to happen sooner rather than later. It's amazing. So thank you. I jotted down a few questions that we've gotten so far, but if anyone else has anything that they want to add, just put it into the Q&A box and I'll get through that. But so obviously this is a long haul destination for a lot of American travelers. How long would you recommend a stay in Seychelles? And do you island hop? Like, walk us through kind of a recommended itinerary, if you will.
Okay, it's a very good question, Christina, because actually the Seychelles Tourism Board program, marketing Seychelles in the Americas, in North America and South America as well. We usually work with tour operators that are selling Africa or selling the Middle East. And Seychelles is usually sold as an extension to an African safari. It's for Americans that are traveling to Nairobi, to Kenya, for example, for a safari, waking up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning to go and do the game drives, tired after 4 or 5 days. Kenya Airways to Seychelles, it's a 2 hours flight to the beautiful Four Seasons or Raffles in Seychelles for maximum of 3-4 nights. And then they fly back. But the beautiful thing about it as well is that you can fly with one airline, like with either Emirates or Qatar or Etihad or Turkish, they all fly to Seychelles. So one ticket to two countries as one holiday option for a holiday. And the same with the Middle East as well. To Dubai, if you're going to Dubai for a holiday, and then an extension to Seychelles for 3-4 nights, and then travel back with Emirates back home.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome. Thank you for answering. So obviously the beaches are so well known in Seychelles. I'm pretty sure that there is one of the world's most photographed beaches in the Seychelles, if I'm not mistaken, right? What are some other experiences that people who are thinking about this destination might not know it's also really well known for? I know you touched on a few other things, but other experiences, I know you talked about nature trails and things like that. What are some other very iconic Seychelles experiences that can't be missed beyond the beaches?
Okay, in Seychelles, as you mentioned, we have 2 beaches, which is voted by Condé Nast every year, listed amongst the world's most beautiful beach. This is on Prala Island, on Slasio Beach, and on Sousse d'Argent, the one I showed you on La Digue. Every year, they feature amongst the world's top beaches. But otherwise, Seychelles is very strong on cultural tourism. We have a lot of unique attractions, and we promote our culture a lot. It's not about beaches. If you look at most of our marketing materials and tools and so on, we have completely moved away from the beaches. It's a known fact that Seychelles has the beautiful beaches. So we'd want visitors to experience the unique attractions that we have. In other words, we have a story to tell the visitors when they are in Seychelles. And this is about us, the people of Seychelles. Where do we come from? What do we eat? What stories do we have to tell? And how do we wash our clothes, for example, and everything. So in view of that, we have a lot of cultural tools which visitors, for example, one which is very popular is that we have local families, and everything in Seychelles is, how would I say, is licensed. Licensed per se, that we do things proper. We do things in a professional manner. The authorities do not believe in Mickey Mouse activities where you wake up one morning, you decide you go to a hotel and pick somebody to go on a tour. You have to have a license, you have to be trained as well to know all the plants and everything. So everything is proper. When you have someone that would come to the hotel and pick up clients, it's called a day in the life of a Seychellois. A day in the life of a Seychellois. They would come at 8 in the morning, pick up the guests, bring the guests to Victoria, to the market, buy all the spices with them, buy all the fish, buy the rice, the lentils, buy the octopus as well, if she's to do a curry, all the ingredients and everything, and then drive to her home.
No
and serve them with a local drink that we drink every morning when we wake up, so that a visitor experience the life of a Seychellois every day, how we live. Brings them, after cooking the meal, they eat around a whole table, tell them stories of Seychelles. Thereafter, bring them to the river, show them how we traditionally wash our clothes, has coffee. It goes on until 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and drive them back to the hotel. And after that, you feel as if you probably want to, to stay and sleep the night, because the feeling is that you are a local, you spend the day in our lives. There are many of these tours, I would say 5, 6, but now there's a lot of emphasis. It's proving so popular, a lot of emphasis by government to promote cultural tourism as the main identity of Seychelles. And it fits in very well with the fact that Seychelles today is used by UNWTO and United Nations very, very often as an example, the success story of a small island state. where conservation is concerned. You know, I don't want to drag on this subject, but
Oh, I
I
love, I
just
mean,
have a
this is
small,
what travelers need from experiences, is to
I just
really
have a small story
understand.
to tell. What I've experienced is when I was a young boy in Seychelles growing up, we used to eat the turtle. Green turtle, it was a delicacy, it was part of our life. Fishermen go out, kill a turtle, blow the one of the shell. Whole village came down and bring beers. We ate, you know, during the weekend and bring beers because it was supposed to be something special. It had high protein or whatever. We're a bit superstitious in Seychelles as well, having this at proximity to Africa. So we thought, you know, it was giving us a little bit something special until the government embraced tourism, look around and says, our natural beauty is our main asset. We need to protect it. President went on the radio, television, addressed the nation and says, as from tomorrow, you stop eating turtles. If there was an election the next day, he would have lost. People got mad because it was part
Oh,
of
it's a
our
transition that needs to be made for
culture.
people.
You're taking something away from us. But they were very clever. The government started an education process, classes compulsory in school to teach education from primary school to polytechnic, all the way, compulsory, every subject, conservation, radio at night, prime time, 8 o'clock, conservation program, the reason why you must not eat turtle, why you must not kill turtle, why you must not cut trees, why you must not spear fish, why you must not catch and release small fish. Today, it's a success story. The tortoise comes up on busy beaches as if they know they're protected, dig their holes and lay their eggs and go back. It's a daily scene on the beaches of Seychelles, and all hotels in Seychelles has a marine biologist nowadays. And visitors, all hotels, especially 5-star, visitors staying at the hotel are brought on nature trails, on guided tours as part of the hotel program. And they monitor when turtles are coming up to lay their eggs. When they do lay their eggs, they monitor, they know when the little ones will come out, and they bring the guests to experience that as well.
Oh,
Very, very popular.
that's
I just
amazing.
wanted
No,
to
I think
explain
that's so important because I think the average traveler wouldn't know that about Seychelles. You know, you might think Seychelles beaches, obviously honeymoon, but like culture tourism, just like what you're talking about, and then conservation. I mean, those are so important to travelers right now. People want to leave a destination better than they found it, right? So I feel like Seychelles is so good for that. So thank you. I'm just going to end with one more question because I think we're out of time, but you did cover this, I believe, in the session. English is widely spoken throughout the Seychelles, correct? So for travelers coming from the US, that's not something that they have to think about, or?
No, English and French, widely
Perfect.
spoken. Everybody speaks French and English, and Creole as well, our local patois.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you all. We have gotten awesome feedback on this presentation. So thank you so much for being here with us, David. This is a treat, and we all look forward to going to Seychelles soon.
Certainly, we open and everybody is welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, I'll see you. Bye-bye.